So we
Hi
just
again.
decided, hi again. We just decided we're going to record another one in case I lose electricity because of this gnarly storm. Because
Yeah.
things tend to get, when it's negative 21 and a 50-mile-an-hour wind, things tend to get a little brittle.
Yeah.
So
So
if
we're planning ahead. We're
yeah,
being responsible.
yeah. So we'll go that way. I can edit and you get your video whether I have electricity or not.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So we're recording for day 24, Christmas Eve.
3. 23.
I grabbed the wrong thing.
Okay. So yeah, so we're on day 23.
Okay, hooray. Day 23.
Okay. It happens.
Whew. All right.
You have a lot in your mind right now. You got a storm coming at you
And I'm trying to figure out how to keep everybody alive.
Yeah.
And, knitting. And there's knitting. I think I'm going to have to set aside the habitation for a few days because I want to make felted clogs slippers for a couple of people. And those are short, there's a short like weekend-ish projects and it doesn't take very long, but I want to do that and then put them out for like Happy New Year boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you were saying you have a sibling with a birthday coming up too that needs.
Yeah, her birthday's the 28th, and so it's right after Christmas, and I want to get, and she knows she's going to get some slippers because I haven't made slippers for her in several years, so she needs some. And they have hardwood floors in her house, so she will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to get those in the mail. And I know I know she won't get them on time, but that's okay. Right. It'll be like, woohoo, happy birthday, happy New Year. And that's fine.
Perfect.
So I'll probably divert to that. Oh, and I need to do some swatching for the witching hour swancho.
Ooh.
Swatching for the witching hour swancho. That's a little hard to say.
Wow.
So
I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have some cones. See those cones right up there above me?
Yes.
Those are nature spun fingering, non-superwash fingering. And the sweater is DK, but I'm going to hold it double.
Here for people who.
It's got like raven skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to make that for the oldest. She wants one of those.
Nice. Dramatic.
Yes. So there's that. So I need to do some things like that. So the Blanky minis will carry on for, holiday movie knitting.
Yeah. Well, and also it's not deadline for Christmas or anything. Your daughter's not going away to college until next year.
Do you watch specific movies on Christmas every year?
This year we haven't, and I think partly because my husband was gone for so long. Often what we'll do is we'll have my oldest sort of plan Christmas viewings.
Movie night.
Like every night we watch something.
Yep.
Through December, and we didn't really do that this year. My husband sat down and watched Elf because you have to watch Elf every year.
I do.
And then we haven't seen anything else really as a family.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Elf.
Ever? Oh, you should watch it. It's it's a modern holiday classic.
I know. But who's the dude that's in it that plays the elf?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he annoys me.
I mean, okay. I would still give it a try. It's not like his normal stuff.
Okay.
He plays a total innocent. And with like a good heart and enthusiasm, he's not like his normal like characters that he plays.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And we always watch, ever since the girls were little, on DVD, we purchased the classic Rankin and Bass, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
right?
Frosty the Snowman, the old classics.
Yeah.
So we'll watch those, the Charlie Brown Christmas, some of the classics. I think we have White Christmas. Some of those classics we got on.
That's one we always watch as a family is White Christmas.
So
Yeah.
we'll put on the fire and
I suspect we'll do a lot of it on Christmas this year
yes.
instead of ahead of time. Cause my youngest is working and my oldest was finishing class up
Yeah.
until, a few days ago. Anyway, so it just
Yeah.
didn't quite fit into the schedule this year. So
And we're gonna have to see how things go because my husband's on call Christmas weekend.
yeah.
We'll just have to see. It's okay.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
And I'm kind of excited. Like, Christmas meals, most people do like ham or turkey and whatever. My mom's gonna make the cast iron Dutch oven pot roast.
Oh,
And it's
that's good.
different when you do it properly in the cast iron Dutch oven. It's
Yeah.
different than how other people do it, like in just a metal roasting pan in the oven. It's not the same.
Right.
Cast iron is important.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds really good. I'm trying to figure out what exactly we're gonna do. Normally Christmas is a carb fest in our house.
Crackling oat bran.
Yeah, so there'll be cracklin oat bran, there'll be waffles, there'll be macaroni and cheese. Like those three things are
Waffles. For Christmas
goodness.
morning.
Yeah.
Oh, our tradition
Yeah.
is homemade pecan sticky buns.
Oh, that sounds good.
Because decades
Sounds really,
ago,
really good.
back in the early
Yeah.
90s, when we first were married, my husband worked at this little cafe on the Oregon coast, and they had
Oh,
it was like a little mini bakery, and it's when like Starbucks was first coming out. People were starting to drink espresso, and it was this little coffee shop, but they baked all their own pastries. And
oh,
so he
nice.
would get there at like 4 in the morning, and he was the baker dude.
Yeah.
So this recipe comes from that.
Nice.
And now he does it every year on Christmas morning. He makes a whole pan of pecan gooiness.
That sounds good.
And maybe we can someone eat scrambled eggs along with it, little protein. Probably not.
Counteract all that sugar. Yeah, my
Woo!
husband found I don't know why, like at some point in our married life, my husband started making the waffle recipe from The Joy of Cooking,
Yep, we do that
which
one.
which
Good.
is I
Fluffy.
forget, it's like 4 to 12 tablespoons of butter or something. Like it gives a ridiculous range. And we totally go for that upper range. They are amazing.
It is a little crazy.
Yeah. So we have like the kind that makes the thicker waffles and yeah, it's
Mhm.
delish. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just get real sugared up and tummy achy and then call it good.
Watch movies and lay on the couch.
Watch movies, play some board games, open presents.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Sunday this year though, so we're like and church is happening. So we're like, are we going
Really?
to church? Are we not going to church? And then but they're saying we're supposed to have bad weather like rain and then
Oh.
freeze. And
Stay
so we're
home.
like, I think that's our out.
Well, yeah, I'm always kinda happy because my husband works for the state, because Christmas lands on the weekend, they'll all have Monday off.
Yeah,
So
that'll
I'm
be
glad about that, if he
yeah.
doesn't get called out. But it's
Yeah.
fine, we've lived long enough with a job like this, you just adjust, and
You get
if
used
we
to
have to have
things.
Christmas before or after, then we will. It's just
Mhm.
about with hanging out together and playing games, and that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, cool.
Right.
So, open day 23.
Open day 23.
Yeah. Yeah, you go first, and then I'll talk about our interview.
Number 23.
Nice.
Just more yarn, clearly.
Yep. But we had 2 little cakes yesterday.
So this is a 25-gram one. Store a screw. Store a screw. So there we have our 3 colors so far.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So there we have it.
makes me wonder what's coming then for the pattern.
I already know.
Of course you do. Teaser.
Ooh,
Ooh.
the mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Okay,
not
let's see yours.
I don't think you're gonna be able to guess the city on this one,
Oh, okay.
but
Is
you
it
could
just a
try.
hank of yarn again?
No.
Oh, cardinal. It's a cardinal. It's a cardinal, but that's Missouri is St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, it's not really related as far as I know.
Okay, so we were just in St. Louis. Nashville? Do we have a Nashville interview?
Mm. Nope.
Cleveland? Trying to think who we interviewed where.
We are headed back towards the east now.
Maryland.
No.
North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay.
So today's interview is going to be with Janis from Queen City Yarns in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte.
Charlotte? Was it Charlotte? Yeah, Queen Charlotte. The
yeah.
Queen City.
No, that's fine. I don't doubt you that that's where it is. I'm just wondering where the thing came from. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Creams and purples and pinks. That's gorgeous.
Wow. Yeah. Is that upside down? Yeah. Queen City Yarns.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a fun interview too. A coronation of color, hand dyed in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice.
A coronation of color. This is Noda sock, Noda, 7525. There you go. From Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina.
Lovely.
Ooh, that's wow. Wow. Combined with yesterday, that'd make some crazy socks. We could do that.
Yeah. You can do
All
it.
right. So we'll cut over to the interview with Janis from Queen City Yarn.
Excellent. Bye.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye. Hey, we're here with Janis from Queen City Yarns. Welcome to the show podcast. Where is the Queen City?
Charlotte, North Carolina. So anybody else who claims to be the Queen City is imposters because we're named after the Queen.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So all the others can claim what they want, but
Queen Charlotte. See, a lot of Americans, I don't think, know about Queen Charlotte.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because she wasn't.
Maybe we need a little history lesson here.
Oh, I'm gonna fill that. I know we're named after the Queen.
Okay, but which queen?
She was a British
George's
queen, right?
Yeah.
She was a British queen. I don't remember who she was king. You know who the king was?
George.
King George.
I do know that.
Yeah.
Because we used to have a little, before we changed the company up and rebranded in 2020, we used to have a little figurine that was a little sheep, and we called him Little G for Little George.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, okay. Then there will be some Googling occur, and we'll put a link in the comments down below about Queen Charlotte.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
She was also apparently Princess Sophia before she was married. And that is a forthcoming new colorway. We do have a colorway called Queen Charlotte.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go. Some insider info.
I think I've been to one of their houses in Kew Gardens. I think it was George and Charlotte who lived there.
Because Anne's a traveler.
Yeah, but how much good does it do me if I can't remember?
I don't know. Well, okay.
Know.
Well, welcome. And first I want to say that's a fantastic sweater. So
Well, thank you.
Yeah, tell us about your sweater. Beautiful.
So this is actually is this my most recent finish? I think it is. It is called the Olive and Oak sweater, and this was designed for Queen City Yarn using our new Coleman yarn her name is Jill, and she is Knit Sitsu, SISU.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's super cozy. It is still 70 degrees here today. The windows were open until I closed it for ambient noise. But yeah, so the yarn is a silk linen blend. So it's great for us Southern folks who want sweaters, but
it's still 70 degrees in November. We're pre-recording this in November. That's why I said that. But that's fine. So
it'll probably still be 70 degrees when you play this in December.
yeah, certainly not here. It won't, but maybe for you.
No.
Possibly here.
Wonderful. So how did you begin dyeing yarn?
So I started dyeing yarn with my friend Kristen. Kristen at the time had two small kids. They're now like 8 and 11. And she had two small kids and a husband who traveled a lot. And I had a husband who was working on a ridiculous project that required ridiculous hours. So, the two of us, like, just kind of, I was helping her with the kids, and we'd get the kids to bed, and we would open a bottle of wine and some undyed yarn from Nick Picks and see what happened. And then the business just kind of grew from there. We had a great group of local knitters. We actually met in a knitting group. So we had a lot of just great local friends who were super encouraging, and they were like, you guys are good at this, like, do it. So we did. We jumped in and we launched Queen City Yarn in November of 2016. We will actually, we will be celebrating our birthday on Friday, but that will be, weeks ago now once this is recorded, or once this is played. And then fast forward to 2020, and Kristen and her family relocated back to Pennsylvania. So I am Queen City Yarn now.
Nice.
Yeah. So do you have some yarns there that you are, like, exceptionally proud of that you'd like to share with us?
Well, they're our yarns are kind of like kids. Do you guys have kids? You can't pick one, right? You can't pick a favorite. But so for us, the favorite is always the newest, to be honest. And this will be out just in time for your viewers. So Coleman, we launched this spring. Like I said earlier, it's a DK weight silk and linen blend. And these are going to be our 2 new colors that we release in December. So we got this beautiful red and then this kind of tealy green. So, just loving this new base. One, it's not something many people have. There are a couple of other dyers who have found it. A silk linen blend is just so luxurious, and it's great for garments. Just absolutely.
Yeah, and like you said, if you live in the South and it's not really winter, then that's wonderful.
Yeah, so we launched it in the spring thinking it would be a spring line for us. It was 9 colors, and all of our samples were short sleeve, kind of maybe tank toppy like sweaters or little cap sleeve kind of things. And then as we progressed through the summer, we're like, let's put some fall colors and some sleeves on these things, and off we go. And then as we launched the fall colors, we got a bunch of our wholesale accounts emailing us, what's for winter? And we were like, these. So these will be out December 1st. And they don't even have names yet. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And I know you have some other.
I do have some other goodies here. So when we launched Queen City Yarn, long before we ever dabbled into something like Coleman, we built the whole business on beautiful hand paint yarns. We all have them in our stash, right? We don't know what to do with them usually by the time we get them home. We just buy them because they're beautiful. And so what Kristen and I did was we designed all of these beautiful hand paints, and then we do tonals that either contrast or coordinate.
Nice.
So if you ever see us in person and you walk into our booth, you'll notice that our booth is set up with rows. So the top row is always hand paint, the next 2 rows are tonals, and then the bottom row is also hand paints. And it will be set up basically like this. So everything above or below will coordinate.
Oh, really? That's genius.
Just trying to make it easy.
For those shopper challenged people.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people struggle with picking colors, you know. So that's really helpful.
Yeah. So we do that on a lot of on our more traditional bases. We do that on our sock. We do it on our DK. We'll also do it with our bulky and our super bulky.
When you're hand dyeing and you're looking for colors, where do you find most of your inspiration for new colorways or patterns or hand paints?
So a lot of it is usually photography based. I am also a traveler, love to travel. It's something my husband and I did a lot more before we had a successful yarn company. To be honest, the business keeps us at home a lot now. But yeah, a lot of it comes from photography. Some of it local. One of our most popular colorways is Can I Order a 40? And that is dyed after inspiration of some graffiti that my husband and I stood in line in front of for a really long time while we waited for the really slow bartender. So that's a really popular color. Like I said, it's designed after a mural. Our Queen Charlotte colorway that we talked about earlier is designed off a painting of Queen Charlotte. So yeah, we like to scour the internet, to be honest, and find photos that just really speak to us. When we launched Coleman, though, I will say we did things very differently for Coleman. Because Coleman is just tonals and we wanted it to be garments, I actually did a lot of research on fashion and what was hot in the fashion industry. If you were going to the mall today or, in the spring to buy something ready-made to add to your wardrobe, what could we provide you for yarn to then knit to complement that would make kind of this overall capsule.
Right.
So a lot of our Coleman yarn, or all of our Coleman yarn, is intended to be very much in style with what you're currently gonna find in the actual fashion industry.
Okay.
That's very smart.
That is smart. Not anything I would have thought about, but that's smart. Totally smart.
Yeah. I mean, you want to knit a summer sweater that's going to go with the cute linen skirt you bought a couple weeks ago, right?
Exactly. No, that's really smart.
So,
I'm not a shopper at all. But yeah.
I would.
You want colors that go with what you own, right? You don't like... Yeah.
And would... Yes, she understands these things.
Yes. So, yeah.
Awesome. So as knitters, we tend to knit a lot as we're listening to things, audiobooks or like watching TV, which often means we're just listening to it. But we're asking all of our interviewees this year for recommendations for your favorite audiobook or television show.
Or movies that you enjoyed recently. Yeah,
movies.
Whatever on Netflix or audiobooks. Yeah.
I am currently rewatching Downton Abbey.
Oh.
You can't go wrong with Downton Abbey.
No, you can't.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's even better the second and third time you watch it.
Because I've watched it once, and I just said, we talked about this at Knit Night the other day. I just said I should rewatch the whole thing, and my other knitters were like, oh, totally. It's worth a second. Yeah.
You don't hate Mary as much the second time around. She's a lot more likable, I guess, because you realize she's really not that bad.
Yeah.
She has her good...
where she's going to land. You know how she ends up. So
yeah.
So that's a good point.
The process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Do you have any others, like series that you like, or is that kind of what you're into at the moment? And
so that's what I'm rewatching. And then my husband is a huge airplane space nerd. If he wasn't an architect, the man should have been a pilot. So we actually watch a lot of airplane space stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
That I'm not really watching it. I'm knitting and it's on, but yes, lots of there's one YouTube channel. I don't even know who it is. Please don't ask. But this guy just videos planes landing at Heathrow or really obscure, hard to land at runways. And so, yeah. That is, if I'm not in charge of the TV, that is what's on. It's great background noise while you knit.
All right.
So,
yeah.
And then he gets real excited, like when things either go really bad or like when it's really windy. And I'm like, whatever. I'm just
some of those landings can be crazy. I've seen a few, they make their way through social media and stuff, and you're just like, oh gosh.
Well, there's a whole YouTube channel about it.
So you touched on this a little bit. What's coming up for December? You have the new colorways. Do you have plans or things that you may be able to talk about? And I say that because a lot of people can't talk about stuff that are coming up too far ahead.
Yeah.
But can you share anything that's coming up for Queen City Yarns in the new year?
I can share something for sure. So for anybody who has known Queen City before today, we used to have a yarn named Berry Hill. It was made exclusively for us by a small mill just outside Asheville. And unfortunately, that mill closed this summer. Oh. So we lost Berry Hill, but we found a replacement.
Oh, good.
So it will be out for fall. We'll be launching it for wholesale orders this summer, and then it'll be out for fall.
So fall of 23.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's way down the pipeline.
Well, but that's all right. People should watch we'll put links to your Instagram and your social media stuff down below, and people can keep track of what's going on.
Yeah. So we will obviously continue with where we started, but we are really trying to also branch out into, things that not every hand dyer has. What can we do that is uniquely Queen City yarn? And Coleman was a great start for that and has been incredibly successful for us this year. So we'll continue to do that and enjoy that. Coleman is available in other weights, so we may eventually branch out into that. But yeah, pretty excited about this Berry Hill replacement. So it's 100% non-superwash domestic merino. So it is merino coming from Oregon, which is super exciting. So we're excited about that. The process for the color development and the research for all of that is well underway. And that'll be coming. We obviously pretty far down the pipeline, but the intention is either early August or early September. So
wonderful. Wow. Yeah. I'm excited to hear about that. You don't often hear about people launching new products that are not superwash and 100% wool. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking is it's getting harder to find a merino that's not superwash.
Right.
Yep.
And I prefer it to not be superwash. I like how it behaves better. So yeah, I have a supplier I'm very happy with, but I'm very happy to hear that there's another, that you have another one coming. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're well into the research of the color phase of that and working on that and excited about that. And excited where that'll go. So
that is exciting.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we'll put like I said, we'll put all your links to your social media stuff and everything. And if you have a newsletter, people can sign up for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. On our website, if you go to the bottom of our website, there's a place to sign up for our newsletter. And then we also do a monthly drawing for our, what we call Project Spotlight. So if you knit anything out of Queen City yarn, there's a little form there at the bottom of the website where you can submit your pictures. And we give away a $30 gift card to the website every month.
Awesome.
Wow.
So, that's a great deal. Yeah.
Just show us what you're making with our products. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So.
Janice, thank you for joining us. It's delightful to hear about you and your shop and your business. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was great.
Great to meet you. Thanks.